So before ever starting any kind of relationship, I think it's extremely important that you need to learn to love yourself. And a lot of people, right, I've read many different books in my life, and a lot of people, it all comes back to the same thing, right? People are willing to give up, their happiness, their joy, and all these different things, the shirt off their back to the people they love, but they won't actually give that love in return to themselves. And this is something that's extremely, extremely sad to see, right? You don't want to be that person that doesn't love themselves, but yet you seek out love and hope that that other person can, provide that for you. And I think that is one of the biggest mistakes you can ever have in your life, is to think that some outside element, some person, something will actually give you love the way you expect it to. When in fact, if you're not giving that love to yourself, then why should someone have to be forced to do that, to give that love that you can't provide for yourself? And so this is why I think it's extremely important, before even getting in any kind of relationship in your life, is to understand that you need to love yourself. You need to actually find yourself, and however means that is. Now, I know a lot of times, people say they love themselves, but when it comes down to it, right, when you are actually putting yourself in that position where you are in a relationship, you realize that maybe you don't love yourself. And you find out that, you start getting really harsh on yourself, that you start beating yourself up about stuff. And then you're expecting the other person, again, to show their love. But, they're not doing it. So then you start blaming them for the empty love that you have for yourself, right? And so we need to look at ourselves. We need to try to connect with ourselves. We need to actually make ourselves happy before even thinking about even starting a relationship. We need to know what makes us tick. We need to know that, all those outside elements, they aren't going to actually make us happy. We have to find our happiness ourselves. We have to find the love for ourselves and provide that for ourselves, as opposed to, trying to give it to somebody else. Yes, I do believe you should give it to somebody else, but only when you're ready. Only when you know that you love yourself. Only when you know the things in your life that you truly want. And then don't ever lose that, right? If you're at the point in your life where you can find the love for yourself, which may take a lot of work, right? You may have to do a lot of, sitting in silence and just connecting with yourself. Or, challenging yourself to achieve the goals you want in life, whether that's starting a business or writing a book, just something to help prove to yourself, right? Because we're in this constant battle of the self, right? Of, wondering if we're ever good enough, wondering, why could we ever love ourselves because we did this in our past, when we have to let go of our past, when we have to, stay more present and realize that all those things that have happened to us, they are just part of our past. They're not who we are today. We need to realize this and actually understand that we need to really look deep and find ourselves. Again, this is where you see a lot of divorces and stuff, which is extremely sad, because people don't know how to love themselves first. And I myself have experienced divorce twice in my life, and I can tell you that that's exactly what it is, right? Whether it was them who didn't love themselves or myself. And I can attest the fact that there were many times in my life when I was in marriage that I did not love myself. And that showed, right? That I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I didn't deserve specific things. And this can be you. And this is something you need to really be mindful of when going into a relationship. That make sure you do love yourself, and make sure that when you do start a relationship, that you yourself will continue to love yourself and continue to seek out those things that can help challenge you, that can help build the confidence in yourself. I've always believed that anytime you go into a relationship, that relationship should just be a complement to your life, right? Yes, you want to experience many different things and have time together, but you do want to have the time apart. You do want to be individuals and not have to see everything as just together all the time, because that's not going to help your relationship. You have to have your own separate, independent lives and then connect, right? Because if you're not living your own separate independent lives, you find that you guys will actually, be together so often that you won't have anything to, talk about. And you want to have that uniqueness, right, to your day as opposed to the other person, right? Because if you're working with them all the time, if you're constantly around them, you find that you start lacking, conversation. And so I think this is where it's extremely important. If you can find the things that you love, that make you, right, that make you unique to yourself, find those things. Maybe you like to, write, maybe you like to read, maybe you like to play video games, maybe you like to work out, maybe there could be many different things, but find those things that you love and make them you, and don't ever change that, right? And so you find all these things before you even go into that relationship and keep them intact. The other person should not be trying to change you. The other person should only be trying to make you better, to push you, to help you succeed. This is what the relationship is all about, is to support one another in the fact that they're going out and doing these things that make them love themselves. And I think this is the big disconnect in a lot of relationships, that people always, again, seek that other person to fill that void, that the other person should be, slowly in charge of the love that they're not feeling, which is not the case. You are solely reliable for those things that make you love yourself. Then you can share that with the other person. Then you can, experience the different uniqueness you guys have and enjoy the time together you do have together, as opposed to being right on top of each other and feel like that's the way it has to be, when that's not at all the case. So I hope this video helps you guys. If you feel it has helped you, hit that like button. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.